chat is one of the other common features that people utilize. So there's Teams and there's chat, and some people get confused when I should use something over the other. Chat's really helpful for one-on-one conversations. It's helpful for group chats or something more temporary. You can still share files with it. You can use the chat kind of for group conversations, but if something's more permanent, or let's say it's a recurring meeting, a recurring team, or sub teams or committees in your company that you're constantly utilizing to communicate, that's where you'd want to use a team. So think of chat as more one-on-one, smaller group, or temporary. And so just kind of play around. You could create a chat here. You have different options. Obviously, this is pretty simple. Some of these tabs at the top, though, people don't utilize enough, I don't think. So if someone's shared a file, so with you, it shows up in files. So often a lot of people think that once the conversations get really long, they'll have to scroll up and try to find the file. Well, really, you could see, hey, what files have been shared with me and Lee here. Click that. Another pretty useful feature is organization. So this is assuming that you have your Active Directory set up correctly to where you show who's someone's manager. So you can go to organization. If you're not as familiar with Lee, you could see, all right, wait, who else is on Lee's team? Who does he report to? So it's just a live org chart. And then you can click on somebody else and kind of drill in a little further. So it's just very helpful for a live org chart, especially as you get a little larger. Then what's helpful is you can click on somebody and see their information, message them directly from here, shoot an email, call, video if they're online, a lot of different options. And then you have activity. So any team or channel that Lee and I are also members of here, or would show up in activity. So I could see anything that he's posted in any team if I needed to for any reason. And then I could add, there's a lot of different integrations with apps, which I'll try to get into. Each one of those I could probably do a full hour webinar on with all the different integrations here. So if we and Lee wanted to work on a Word document at the same time very easily, we could do that here, or work on OneNote, Excel. Pretty much any native Microsoft product works really, really well. And then there, as you can see, there's a lot of other integrations. Some of these are just a click of a button you can utilize. Others may require a separate account in order to utilize that product. Other things you can do with chat is, let's say once I get a lot more chats, instead of scrolling, try to find one, I can pin it if it's something very common to use. If I pin it, it automatically goes up to the top. It's pinned. I can remove it as well. Another scenario at center that we utilize for group chat is incidents, right? So we're a managed services provider, and let's say that there's emergency or critical issue for a client, and we have a team, a smaller group on there working on the issue. We a lot of times will create a group chat, and we can actually give the group chat a name as well, and that way we can communicate here and make sure that everybody is able to see where we're at on something. And I can easily add another person to this group chat. Other things you can do with chat is screen share, where you can share content, share apps. I can do an audio call, video call, a lot of different things. What's helpful is, let's say I'm on this group chat and I want everyone, I want instead of saying, hey, everyone, let's get on a meeting, I could click call and it will automatically call every single person. So it's really helpful for if we need to have a brainstorming session, everybody needs to get on the call for some emergency issue that happened, some incident, and click call and it will call everyone. And what's helpful is that if they have the Teams mobile app and the Teams desktop app, it'll call both of those. So if they're on the road, they can get the call on their cell phone if they're away from their computer. So very helpful for that. And then with Teams, we got a lot of different options. Real quick, one other question that I typically get is external communication with Teams. So by default, it is available to where you can start a chat, start typing in the person's email address. If they have Teams, it'll prompt you, and it's turned off for this organization. But if you start typing in their email address, it'll say they're not found in the address book, search external. Hey, there you go. and you can actually message that user. This is, again, turned off for the organization, but you can message them if it is enabled. And you can also lock this down. So if there's only certain organizations you want to allow communication with, you can add their domain. Once you do that, it blocks all other domains but those. But that is something that's enabled by default. So a lot of people don't even realize they can message someone external. At Center, we happen to lock that down so that we're mainly communicating internally, utilizing Teams. So something that's pretty helpful. You can also do voice or audio and voice calls utilizing that feature.